Hello again. I know not many people are watching this, but in the future, who knows how many. So I'm speaking to the very few who are looking at the minute and the masses who are going to be looking in the future. So, hello to the future. In my last video, I demonstrated doing a two-handed chromatic scale, and I thought afterwards, it's not the most obvious one, the way that I did it isn't the most obvious way to do it, and that made me think about fingering. So I'll do a quick bit on fingering and how to come up with a decent fingering to play a line, and I'll demonstrate a different chromatic scale and a single-handed fingering as well. So if we're looking for a good fingering for playing that, the notes played a little differently. But the problem is, you want to play what finger do you use here? So if you do that, you can't play that there. Very awkward. You could do that, works quite well. But there's a different fingering, which is to start down here and come up there. Instead of from there, go there, there to there. So I'm going to use this finger, then that finger, then that finger, and then down to here is this finger again. So it's a cycle, there, 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 there. Then this finger again, that finger again, that finger again. So I'm going there, 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 there. So it's a very comfortable. Now there's another thing about it, which is there's a flow. I'm moving up the fretboard. So my hand is just gently moving up. Then we change direction. So the process with which I came up with that fingering was really to try and play it quickly. Just to snatch quickly, I mean. If you're going to trip up over it, you're going to do it quickly. So the problem with starting off slowly and increasing is that you might not have the best fingering. So to start with, try the different fingerings, and that's actually it's a very simple I'm not going to play it at that speed, and I can't really play it at that speed, but you get the feel for it's a nice flowing fingering. Well, then the next chord would be down here really. No, I can't play this. And so on. Say you're going to play a chromatic scale. Now, what I did before was something like this. Okay, now a much more obvious way of doing it would be, instead of this strange alternating these four fingers, would be to do that. Works as well. and it's more obvious really because you're keeping it into these sort of just 4 frets and everything's together. You're not sort of going up and down as you're doing like that. You're sort of going up and then back down on, you know, horrible buzz there on this speaker, never mind. So although you can actually play faster, it's easier to play faster with this fingering, but it's harder to lift your fingers properly. So maybe in the future, when I can do these 2 actions and that one, cleanly and more consistently, then my preference might be for this one, but at the moment it's not. If you want to play a chromatic scale with one hand, that's a bit trickier because look, your fingers are not really my fingers anyway. I've got a fairly short little finger. If I had a longer finger, I might be able to reach there better, but so some people might find that easier. I don't. That is just so incredibly weak for me to do that that I wouldn't even consider it. The thumb is way out of the way. So how would you do it? That's one way. It's a bit tricky to do a 2-octave scale that way because you're going down the instrument and you're running out of strings. So another way to do it is quite tricky again, but nevertheless it works okay. And then skip over to the next. So So that's tricky to play that fast. But no doubt with a bit of practice I could do it faster and also get rid of the feeling of the, you know, that there's 5 notes at a time being played. So, you know, if you want to feel the 3s or feel the 4s, even though that's not what your fingers are really doing. Anyway, the purpose of the channel was really to log my progress. So I ought to do some progress video next, but I'm not doing that now because I've spent a lot of time on this, far longer than it appears. And I haven't edited it yet. So I'll say goodbye for now.